conflicts and resolutions in marriage. Conflicts and resolution in marriage, crisis in marriage, and how to resolve them. It's so important to those married and those who are not married. The reason is that some people think that if you marry the right person, you won't have problems. It is a lie from the pit of hell. I heard somebody said, we've been married for decades and we have never quarreled. I say it's a lie. First of all, when I heard it, it troubled my mind. I said, so I'm a sinner because I quarreled. Until I met somebody that is very close to that family. And I said, come, tell me. This person said, this man of God said they've never quarreled since they got married. He said, Bishop is telling lies. He's just making a statement of faith. I said, which kind of faith that is lie? He said, I know them. He said, sometimes 3 weeks, they don't talk together. I said, okay. All right. So, first of all, I want us to look at the scriptures. I want us to look at Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. If anybody, okay, as it is there, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving what? One another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. Even as Christ, as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of what? Meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be what? Tempted. Mark chapter 11, 25 to 27. I just want to give us scriptures, then we can talk. Mark chapter 11, 25 to 27. And when you stand praying, forgive. If you have aught against any, whether husband or wife, if you have aught against any, he says, forgive. That your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. And they came again to Jerusalem. Okay, let me stop here. So forgiveness is the key. I've found out by experience that if you hold grudge against me, you are the one suffering. That grudges, bitterness, pain is a gradual suicide. You are digging your grave gradually. You may not know now. When you get to a certain age in life, you will regret what you have done to yourself. Because there are certain people, they always carry issues so big. They say, you don't know, it's hurting me, it's aching me. 4 years, it's aching you. That 4 years you have been digging grave for yourself. But he says, if you don't forgive, your Father in heaven will not forgive you. And if there is a place where misunderstanding, quarrel, and conflict arises, is inside marriage. Do we agree? Marriage. So I want somebody, you are married. Can you tell me one of the things that causes misunderstanding in marriage? But let me make this statement for you to understand where I'm coming from. Any marriage where there is no tension, that marriage is motionless. Did you understand? Any marriage that there is no tension, that marriage is motionless. That means that marriage has died. Look at this chair. Watch what will happen to this chair. You are stupid. You are a bastard. Your mother is a witch. Your father is a witch. Are you not listening to me? I will slap you. Did the chair respond? That is the only way you cannot have misunderstanding in your marriage. If you marry chair, if you marry a bottle, if you marry a pot, you marry something that is not alive. You know why? Misunderstanding, misinterpretation, misrepresentation, quarrel, and tension, they are the major ingredients that comes on marriage that makes marriage to grow. They are the things that makes you to discover the person you really married to. Your real person will come out in the presence of misunderstanding. So, those who think that because they had a misunderstanding, they are going to hell, please, I want you to relax your mind as we look into issues this morning and really find out what is causing misunderstanding. Marriage is to be enjoyed, not to be endured. If you were here yesterday, you will understand that the things I said yesterday, if you understand the definition of marriage, that you married somebody that was once hurt, somebody that was once disappointed, somebody that was once wounded, somebody that has gone through some issues in life, and those issues are still inside the person, and that is the person you married. You married a broken person, and Jesus made the person to be able to withstand the brokenness. But that person is a human being. There's no one angel on earth. And as time progresses, some things will begin to show up. Many people are just dying and want somebody they once loved before they said the love is dead. So what killed the love? Because they didn't understand that what the rain, the sun, the wind is to a plant. That is what misunderstanding, misreading, misquotation, misinterpretation, and quarrel in marriage, that is what it is. Without the rain and the sun and the wind blowing, the plant will not grow. So without those misunderstanding, marriage is going nowhere. Am I communicating? So repent this morning when you are thinking that God has forsaken you because you had a misunderstanding with your husband. So I want us to be very free this morning, and I just need three persons who will tell us the thing that is actually causing quarrel in marriage. Just lift your hand. I need the microphone. Need the microphone. Oh, there are too many hands. Very quickly with microphone. All right, let's start with her there. Just mention it. What you think is causing quarrel in marriage. When you lack how to manage, I want to know what causes it. before managing it. What causes it? Yes, what causes it? Okay? Someone there? What causes it? What do you think causes misunderstanding? Just
na lack of trust in marriage. Where una also not get trust for each other.
when, when there is lack of trust. Okay? Those managing the sound, please help us. Lack of trust. Okay, give to this one. I really want us to be very practical this morning. Jealousy. Okay. Okay. Jealousy causes conflict. Let's finish here. Let's finish here. Yes. You guys must be practical this morning. When you don't know how to communicate with your partner. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Yes. When you don't know how to communicate with your partner. Okay. Let's begin. Okay. You want to say something? Okay.
When there is no love.
What killed the love before getting married?
Lack of caring.
Lack of caring will cause conflict. Okay, let's begin from here.
Teaching the union.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Cheating. Yes, cheating will cause conflict. Yes, let's hear from a man.
Third party interference.
Third parties interference in marriage. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, the other one.
When you are married, you have to know when and how to speak to your partner when he's happy or when he's sad. You have to understand that person thoroughly and know that everyone has a different mood and different character. So if you understand that, there will be no conflict between you and that partner.
Okay, communication. Communication. Okay? Yes, here. Those people have finished their assignment. Yeah.
Pride.
Pride causes conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want us to be very, very practical. Okay, come this way. Come this way. Let's start with the man here. God's servant. Yes, let's.
Comparison. When you compare your marriage and other.
Okay, comparing your marriage with the other marriage. Can you see Mama Timothy? Look at Papa Thomas. How is he treating his wife? Comparison. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sex can cause misunderstanding. Many a times you don't satisfy your spouse. Yes.
Sex. La. Okay. Sex. Yes, ma'am. Finances. See, I'm picking words. Communication, sex, finances. Okay, sir? Go on.
Yeah, so when expectations, because people enter into relationship with expectations.
Yes.
And when these expectations are not met,
When expectations are not what? Met. Because what you saw that made you to enter, you believe that this thing that I saw in the next 2-3 years, this is what is going to be. You know what? One thing I found out in relationship is that when we enter into relationship and enter into courtship, all of us are pretending until we get married. When we now get married, the jungle matures. What you thought is no longer what it is. Yes, ma'am. Expectation. Yes. Poverty will create abject poverty. We create problems in marriage. Yes, ma'am. Lack of improvement in diversities when the changes shows up, when there are diverse areas and we are unable to adjust or improve. We are unable to improve when there is opportunity for us to improve. If you got married in 2 rooms and now you move to 3 bedrooms and you didn't adjust and didn't improve and know that, look, having moved from this level to this level, there has to be a difference. It's going to create what? Serious conflicts. Yes, ma'am.
There are some situations you cannot adjust to.
Yes.
Because when your husband, who initially was a Muslim, and then, you were not saved at the time, got married. Later on, he became a Christian. Then, after so many years, after about, let's say, over 30 years, he started preaching something which is contrary to the word of God. One cannot adjust to that.
Yes. Okay? It can cause quarrel. I once met a very great man of God. And I had a misunderstanding with my wife, and I traveled out of the country, went to preach. By the time I came back, I had a call from my father in the Lord, Papa Ayo Orisejiafo. He said, Abraham. And I know when he calls me like that, there is trouble. He said, come over to see me with your wife. I just knew that my wife has reported me. So I called her. I said, so you went to report me? She didn't say a word. So we entered the car. Driver was driving. We were sitting at the back. Nobody's talking to each other. Everybody is singing his own song. I was singing mine. So when we got to Papa's place, one of the problems one of the greatest mistakes a man will make is to think you can defeat your wife by talking. Forget it, because you don't have details. By the time your wife finished offloading and downloading the details of what happened in the last 15 years, you just die. You just deflect. When she finished talking, I tried to talk. Then my father looked at me. He said, Abraham, I said, Dad. He said, there are things you cannot change in marriage. No matter how you pray, no matter how you fast. I said, excuse me, sir. He said, no matter how you pray, no matter how you fast, there are certain things you cannot change. Therefore, ask for wisdom to live with it. That was where the matter settled. Ask for wisdom to do what? So instead of quarreling about it, marriage is actually meant for you to live with an imperfect person all the days of your life. Unconditionally, you just love the person. There are things you will never be able to change. No matter how you do it, it will not change. The Holy Ghost will not even change it. You know why? That is the thing that binds both of you. And sometimes that is what you saw and went there. But that is what is creating the problem. That is what makes your wife or your partner unique. That thing that cannot be changed. That is what makes her unique. Or what makes him unique. So that when two of you start, because if you succeed in changing her to be like you, 2 men are living in the house. Or you succeed in making him to be like you, 2 women will begin to live in the house. Am I communicating? So there are things that when you've done all you know how to do to change, and they refuse to change, you now ask for wisdom and ask for grace. Somebody say grace. Paul said, I pleaded with the Lord to take this affliction from me. And God answered and said, my grace is what? Sufficient. Yes, the last person. No, this place. This person have finished their potter. This place.
Interference of in-laws.
Yeah, the third part, interference of in-laws. Okay.
Mismanagement.
Mismanagement of what?
Let's say concerning giving money to the woman.
Okay, mismanagement of finance, giving money to the woman. Okay.
Also, wrong counseling can bring misunderstanding in the relationship.
When what?
Wrong counseling.
Wrong counseling. Okay, when you meet other person to give you wrong counsel,
Yes.
okay, about what is happening in
In
your
the
home.
you
Good.
don't keep quiet. You want somebody to interfere.
Okay. Okay. What that's a beautiful one. And you know, many of us are guilty. Many of us are what? Guilty. We meet people. Let me tell you the truth about life. Never you discuss issues with anyone who has not got solution for you. Anyone that cannot solve your problem, don't discuss your issue with the person. You know why? The person will give you a wrong counsel. The person will give you a wrong counsel. When you go and ask counsel from a woman that has married 4 times, what counsel do you think the person will give to you? He would want you to break, at least try it once, break one, and join her. Yes, another one here. Yes, ma'am. And we will stop there. All right, marital unfaithfulness, that is infidelity in marriage. Thank you very much. It is obvious that we are aware of the things causing misunderstanding in our homes. Let me begin this morning by defining conflict. What is conflict? Earnest struggle for superiority or victory. Earnest struggle for superiority or victory. Competitive encounter between groups or individuals. Competitive encounter between groups or individuals. Incompatibility between 2 or more opinions, ideas, principles, or interests. Incompatibility between 2 or more opinions, ideas, principles, or interests. And this can be as a result of misunderstanding, misreading, or misinterpretation of what happened or what was said. Resolution is a very simple thing, an action of resolving a problem, dispute, contentious matters, finding solution to a problem. Conflict in marriage arises when we try to manage our homes. That's exactly the truth. It arises when we try to manage our home because of our individual differences, our individual different points of view, different opinion, our background, our social exposure, the way we understand it from where we are coming from, the way we saw it practiced from where we are coming from, or conception we have of what it should be. And when we don't see it that way, we try to introduce it. And when we try to introduce it, the other person did not understand what we are trying to do, then misunderstanding will arise. Conflict in marriage, misunderstanding in marriage is normal, is common. You will always encounter it. Every marriage will always go through some storms, will always go through some challenges. The reason is this: you didn't come from the same place. You were not brought up by, even if you were brought up by the same parents, you still have your personal opinion, you have your personal idea, you have also lived a life. So you have had encounter with people. You have also had a discussion with people who tells you this is what it's supposed to be. Some of them are negative, some of them are positive. At the time you had it, it didn't mean anything to you until you found yourself in marriage. Now you are trying to practice what you heard, only to discover that what you heard was wrong. And what it will lead to? It will lead to serious problem in marriage. It is obvious that we are different. We understand and read meaning differently. I need all men to understand here that women read meaning differently. The reason is the way the woman is created. The study has shown that the woman's brain is like bundles of wire. It flows round, it flows from one wire to another, while men's brain are packaged in boxes. Men's brain are packaged in boxes. And if this is understood, many people will avoid problems. The man is not created like the woman. See the woman, she had a call. She's answering a call, and she's breastfeeding the baby at the same time and answering a call. Her eyes is on the pot of soup that is boiling. The same woman. And the washing machine is what she's checking the time at the same time. She's breastfeeding and she's talking. That is not a man. The man will finish talking first. So men pick the box, finish what is in the box, then close the box and put it back before acting. But the woman is created to do too many things at the same time. That is the reason why if your wife asks you a question, she has 5 answers ready. So when you cannot answer, because the man is not created to answer like that, the man takes the box to look at the question. What will be the aftermath of this question if I answer like this? What will happen in the next 3 months? That is not the woman's. The woman wants answer now. That is the reason why if somebody abuse your wife and you are there, your wife wants you to react immediately. But the man doesn't reason that way. The man is thinking, if I react now, what will the husband or what will the brother of this one, who knows who this woman knows, then what will happen in the next 6 months or 1 year or 2 years? When you don't respond, the woman thinks that you don't protect her enough, you don't care enough, you are there and somebody abused me and you didn't do anything. Because as far as her brain is concerned, you must respond now. Are you listening to me? That is how the woman thinks. That is how the woman responds. You must respond on the spot because her brain is created that way. But men, their brain is not created. That's why you ask her husband the question, you say, okay, give me some time. You begin to wonder, what time am I giving to you? Tomorrow morning you say, have you come with the solution of what I told you? He said, but I told you to give me some time. Then the woman begin to wonder, what time am I giving you? And it's like the delay, oftentimes or anyway, the man's delay could create a problem. But that is how he's created to reason. Am I communicating? I would like for us to look at some few things that create conflicts in marriage. So if you are writing, you can write, but I ask you to get the book, except the book is finished. Number one is finance. Money. Somebody say money. I can't hear somebody say money. Number two is sex. Somebody say sex. You're afraid to say it in the church. Can I hear you say sex? Uh-huh. Number three is communication. Number three is communication. And you mentioned them. Communication. Number four, in-laws. Brother-in-laws, father-in-laws, sister-in-laws, third party. Number five, children upbringing can create serious conflict in the home. Where the woman says, don't kill my son. The man now said, all right, it's your son. When the daughter has now misbehaved, the man now says, can you see your daughter? Now you begin to ask, is she not your daughter? He said, no, she's like you. Then you say, how am I like? He said, just like her. Number six, spirituality in the home. Number seven, infidelity, unfaithfulness. Number eight, house chores. Managing the house chores. Number nine, job and business. Number 10, food. I hope you know food can create serious problem in the house. Food. Number 11, temperament. We have in our study in marriage and preparing people to get into marriage, we have now introduced the study of temperament. And we have now introduced writing exams before you marry. Like this book, we have two books we study. This one and the other book, we will get questions from them. You write one after half of the period you need it. We do 3 months counseling. After 1 month and a half, you write exam. And after the other one, you write the final exam. If you don't pass, you're not married. You don't know how to write, then we will talk to you and ask you questions and you will answer. Because we find out that people prepare for wedding, they don't prepare for marriage. And so we have to adjust. So we studied the temperament. We have 4 temperaments: the sanguine temperament, the melancholy temperament, the choleric, and the phlegmatic temperament. And this temperament determines how you react and how you respond. We look at the negative and the positive of each temperament. And we now teach on how to deal with the negative of your temperament. Everyone has about 3 temperaments operating, but one major one, about 60% of it. Now, if you marry a man that is a sanguine temperaments are men and women who are always very friendly. They make friends easily. And they say things that they may not keep. They make promises very easily and they may not keep it. So if you marry such a man and say, oh, honey, you know, next week I'm going to buy you this only to get it. He's just excited. Whenever he comes, he takes over the discussion from everybody. And you think that your husband is a talkative or your wife is a talkative. It's just the temperament. And if you don't know it, you're going to have problems. Or you marry a choleric. Choleric are men that you hardly see them laugh. Or women, they don't smile. They walk from morning to, they don't get tired walking. They come from office, they enter the house, they are walking, they are changing things, they are moving things, they change the bed, they change the chairs. They are always walking. And they don't feel, it's not that they don't feel, but they can hardly see them cry, no matter what you say. They are like stone. So when you marry such a person, you say he doesn't, even when you are sick, you just come to you and say, okay, that's all right, sorry. He cannot even pet you. If you marry a choleric, then get ready. He won't pet you. He doesn't have room for romance. Doesn't know what it is. He feels that reduces him. He wants to be a man. Or he wants to be a woman. He doesn't feel it. There are women like that. And if you don't know about this temperament, you are going to have serious problems. Or you marry a phlegmatic, very lazy. They are very, they will prefer taking care of children than doing things. The house may just be like that. Or you marry a melancholy. A melancholy is a perfectionist. If you marry a melancholy man, he's a perfectionist. He will come. You give him cup to drink water, he will look at it. Because he's a perfectionist. He wants to. If you get a book on temperament, please, married people and those going into marriage, it has become very, very obvious that we were having serious problem in my marriage until we studied the temperament. I studied it and told my wife to study it. And when we finished studying, I told her, tell me your temperament. And she was accurate about mine, and I was accurate about hers. We look at the negative and look at the positive. When I saw what was creating problem in our home, that we are the problem of ourselves. So we now began to ask the Holy Ghost to lead us and help us to correct the errors that temperament. I used to be, let me say, about 70% sanguine. But that has changed. Or 60% sanguine, 40% choleric. But it has changed. Because I can just see you in the street, hug you, give you a peck. Meanwhile, my wife doesn't feel that way. How can you be hugging somebody that you just met? I make many friends, many friends. Some of them killed me because of my temperament. Until I started learning how to correct my errors. So temperament can cause serious problem. Number 12 is cultural background. And number 13 is our telephone. Can create so much problem. I want you to take note of this. Men expresses themselves in anger and shouting. Women expresses themselves by talking. Men expresses themselves in anger and shouting. If you know this, it will help you. You shall know the truth. The truth you know shall do what? Set you free. Women expresses themselves in what? Talking. The day you succeed as a man and keeping your wife from talking, that is the day your grave is beginning to be dug. Because you will meet a house like a grave. Welcome. That's all. If you want to frustrate a man, just keep him quiet. He doesn't like to talk, but if you keep the man quiet, you see him pacing like somebody that he has lost everything in life. He doesn't know what is pursuing him. He will drive out, he will drive in. He will come to the house, he will on television, he will just be going from channel to channel. He's not watching anything. It's just because nobody is talking to him. But he doesn't know how to talk. Nobody is talking to him. It's like the whole house is filled with darkness. So, Let her talk. Somebody say, let her talk. So when you understand this, it will help you a lot if you understand this. Somebody say amen. Now let's begin. What we did yesterday is one major thing that creates conflict. When we do not understand what marriage is. That marriage is a covenant commitment. That marriage is a choice. That marriage is an empty box. That marriage is a school where you never graduate. A school where you learn how to love, how to talk. A school that changes your character. A school that your character keep on changing until you die. The way you are behaving when you got married 20 years ago is not the way you are behaving right now. And that is what marriage does. So when we don't understand the concept of marriage, that the only book is the Bible that will help you to understand what any other person is writing. For people write out of their experiences. But you know that experiences don't match every culture. That your experience and my experience cannot be the same because I didn't marry the same person. Somebody say, I hear. Now let's look at money. 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 Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 12. It says money is a defense. Money is a defense. In other words, lack of money. When you lack money, you become defenseless. Economically, socially, and otherwise. When there is no money in a home, a lot of things go wrong. Let us face the reality that money is a defense. Lack of it in a marriage has multiple effects. It can kill romance and kill sexual life. Money and its management in marriage, if not properly handled, will lead to the following: insecurity, nagging and quarreling, absence of necessities of life, hiding and keeping secrets and hiding things, malnutrition of family members, lack of quality education for the children, constant recurrence of sicknesses because there is no money for proper treatment, makes a husband an infidel because he's not able to meet the needs of the family when there is no money in the house. A lot of things can happen. You will not eat what you want to eat. Your children will not go to the right school because you will not be able to afford it. And if you are not careful, it just kills romance. What are you romancing when there is no money? Especially in the world we live in now, where there are so much to do and there is no money. And probably you saw money before you enter, only to discover that the money didn't sustain anything, or what you thought it was is not what it is. Because there is no condition that is what? Permanent. A situation where for the first, I know there are women here. This is the truth. There are women here. Since you got married, you cannot say this is the major cloth my husband has bought for me. I've met several women. In counseling, you say, ask him, since 14 years we got married, has he bought me a pant? Then I will look at the man and said, sir, is it true? He said, but I'm taking care of the family. No, have you bought this woman a pant? This thing that you they chop like ice cream. The thing where they cover them, you don't buy the cover. And a lot of women, it hurts them. And do you know why it is so? Some of them is because the man is not receiving enough even to provide food. Lack of money. Lack of money. Somebody say, I hear. It can cause a lot of problem. You may not have the right food for the children. The children come back from school. Do you know that it has led to some children becoming thieves and stealing in the school? Because what they see other children bring, they don't have it. So they will steal their students' stuff because they cannot have it. Do you think I'm talking? Lack of money. It creates nagging and quarreling in the house. Because your wife had expectation. Just imagine when your wife couldn't have money to change her shoe. And the shoe is worn out. And she's walking. And all she's bringing in is entering into the house. Because you gave birth to children in 6 years. You had 4 children. No planning. So you are struggling, and you know the evil of it. All of them will be in secondary school at the same time and will be in the university at the same time. If your finances is not proved, poverty will show you shege. You will see trouble for life. I'm telling you. Are you aware that a lot of young people, even you that got married, you didn't care about family planning before you got married? You don't even care. All that is important, pregnant your wife or get pregnant, have a child. Only for you to discover that the first one was 2, the second one was 3. Second pregnancy, making 5. 5 children in 3 years. Your problem has started. Your journey into the poverty land has begun. Except something happens that changes your financial status, you will labor and work that you wouldn't have time to say, sit down, then talk and go on holiday. There are many of you looking at me, you don't even know what holiday is. The only thing you remember is something that looked like honeymoon for 3 days when you got married. After that, back to life of pursuing and looking after, trying to see. You see, when there are no proper planning, that's exactly what happened. And I tell you the truth. In Africa, many of us, we don't even consider, we don't even plan, we don't even think. We just want to get married. But when these things begin to show up, absence of necessities of life. When your children will go to another neighbor to go and watch television, then your wife is angry, you are angry, you lock them inside the house so they cannot go. They cannot go, but they want to see something. Okay, go and buy television. You can't. When your children, 3 of them are being carried on a motorbike to go to school, meanwhile their mates, their parents come and drop them. You can't even go. Even to pay the motorbike that is carrying them to school, you find it difficult. Sometimes the motorbike man will get angry and leave your children in the school. Can you see how trouble begins? Am I speaking the truth? The lack of money. Lack of money. A lot of women have gone into infidelity because of lack of money. Some men have gone also into adultery because of lack of money. So money is a defense. Money matters are the root of many marital conflicts. Now let's look at when there is money. How also plenty money in the house can cause conflicts, can cause problems. Number 1, when there is not enough money, it could lead to conflict. We have dealt with that one. Number 2, the money is enough but mismanaged by one of the partners. Will it cause problem? Good. There is enough money coming in, but your partner misuses the money. It will cause problem, especially when the money that is coming in is coming from a particular partner, and the other one is just using it. Or your husband is just bringing the money, and to you, it's just to look nice and dress well. Buy the latest that is in town. Just dress, and in the morning you dress, drive around town with some friends, and the man is walking. One day, trouble. We do what? We'll start. Or it's your wife that is more money is coming from your wife, and you are the one, every Saturday evening you invite your friend, buy cartons and drink and do party here and there. You want to fly to spending another person's money. Will it cause problem? Good. Number 2, when your wife wants the latest fashion and jewelry because there is plenty of money. You may be responding, but at a point in time, you begin to, when you refuse, it's like you don't love me anymore. It's not issue of loving you. The things you are buying, of course, let me say this to every man. No woman is ever satisfied buying things. She was created to buy things. She was created to do what? Buy things. Buy clothes, buy earrings, buy hair tie, buy shoes of different colors, shoe and bag. And some of them are not going to be used. That is her life. Oh. That is how she's created. So you can't stop her. But it will create problem. It will do what? Create problem. One day the man will get angry. So my caution, my advice to women is that be careful what you buy. Must you buy things? Women, stop buying things on credit. You buy to pay instrumentally for 4 months. It's an error for a Christian woman. Be content with what you have. Are you listening to me? Be content with what you have. It's very, very common among women. It's very, very common. A friend just come and you buy. In Nigeria, there is something that's common. They call ashebi. Ashebi is the cloth you wear for weddings. And do you know, there are people that buy ashebi every week. This one we bring, they will buy. This one we bring, they buy. The other wedding, they can change 3 times in one Saturday to attend different weddings. Because they say this wedding is pink, the other one is blue, the other one is yellow. They will buy. And they won't pay. Then they begin to gather the money to pay. While they are gathering the money to pay, another wedding has come. It's an error. Somebody say it's error. Plenty money can create independence and no submission or love. The man has just come into a big money, so you can't talk to him anymore. I want to say to men, when you come to a level of money and come to a level of influence, remember the person that started with you, your wife. Carry her along. Do what? Carry her along. Let she enjoy the same money. Don't become a god. Don't become a god. Don't become independent. You now take decision. You do whatever you want to do. Well, if she doesn't like it, well, that's her problem. Some women get into that as well. And they buy whatever they want to buy. They don't care whether their husband agree or not. And I say to husbands, please, your wife is not entitled to bring anything in the house that you are not aware of. Otherwise, one day, your wife will buy what will kill you. And you are not aware how she got the money. So be careful that you know what your wife is doing and how the money is coming in. When money creates independence in marriage, the woman will not submit if she gets into that level of money. Or the man may not love if he gets into that. So plenty of money has its own problem if it is not properly managed. Am I communicating? It has brought all kinds, plenty of money has brought all kinds of relatives. You know relatives? Not relatives, I mean relatives. You have money now, auntie's son, come to the house. Uncle's brother, come. You just gather all the relatives, they are in the house. And what would they be doing? Because you are the one that has the money, they will be supplying information that are not necessary. They become rumor carriers. They become evil speakers. If it's the man that has the money, they now begin to tell the man all kinds of lies just to gain his attention for what they will collect from him. If it is the woman, they begin to lie to the woman to get money from the woman. And before you know it, there will be conflict in the house. Who is creating it? The thieves that you have brought, that you say you are related to. More money, more investment, more friends, more effort to remain relevant, less time for the home and each other. That's what more money does. You get the level of money and achievement, more business. You find out that you attend one business in Paris, one business meeting in Paris, another business meeting in the US, another business meeting in Holland. As soon as you are landing in the country, there's a business meeting with the governor, with the president, to the point that you are home, you become a stranger. When your absence is felt in your presence, you have lost your home. When the people you are struggling for no longer have need of your presence, do you know what I have observed? Much as women love gifts and love beautiful things, they need the presence of their husband. You can't substitute it. No way. Every woman would want the man that she can talk to, the man she can discuss, the man that can lie on the same bed, the man she can hold, the man she can tell all kinds of things, nonsense, relevant and irrelevant. But if the woman is now occupying the bed that is meant for two people, and the man is never there, the children don't see their father, the man comes home, buy gifts, buy jewelries. One day the woman will be tired of jewelries. That's why you see big men's wives sleeping with get men. Yeah. Because they are starved. What they thought they wanted, they didn't see. And the enemy suggested a provision somewhere. What was the problem? The moment you get to a certain level, you know one thing about wealth and riches, when you get to a certain level, you have a problem of maintaining that level or going higher. You don't want to go down. And because you don't want to go down, it takes more of your time. If you don't plan it well, you will ruin your home. That is what more money does. When there is not enough money and there are too much things that are needed to buy, problem will come. Lack of budgeting will breed conflicts. Lack of budgeting. What do I mean? I found out this very, very common among many people, among pastors, among leaders, that they don't budget. Right from when we were cutting, that's when we started budgeting. Up to today, we run a budget. Your home must have a budget. How much do we eat in this house? It is an error. You are working. Your wife is working. When she's going to the market, she comes and says, my husband, soup is finished, stew is finished, rice is finished. You say, okay, okay. I think this will be enough. It is demonstration of lack of wisdom. You know why? If you're a man and you are doing that, the woman believes the money is there. So 3 days later, she will tell you it it is finished. So you supply. 4 days later, she will tell you it is finished. Because she knows there is no other way. You cannot bring money out. It is expected that you would sit down with your wife, calculate what we eat. After the budget, you look at the income. Can our income meet this budget? If the answer is no, right there we begin to cut the budget to what our income can take. So that at the end of the month, you count the money and hand it over to your wife, so that your wife will not come one day again until the month is over. I have practiced this for 35 years. And from time to time, as things increases, we review the budget. When the children were in the house, they will call for a meeting. Their mother has gone to talk to them and say, call this hard man to come over. Let us review the budget. No, he's very, very meticulous. If you don't present your case well, you will not submit. So they will sit down and do all calculation and send for me for a meeting. And we will meet. And they will talk until we look at it and slice it down. Then that will be the budget that we run maybe for the next 1-2 years. And do you know what has happened? When they were in the house, there were plenty of people who ran a budget. When all the people have left, they refuse to bring down the budget. Women, no way. They refuse to bring down budget. It is the same budget. So we're running it. Whether we are 6, whether we are 4. The budget that we did when we were 14 is the budget we are doing now that we are 4 in the house. Somebody say, I hear. So lack of budgeting will create problems. And you will think your wife is spending too much. No, because you have not sat down to find out how do we eat? What do we eat? What is our rent? How much do we spend in electricity? What of the water? What of the water bill? What is the provision do we make in case any child falls sick? What is the provision do we make? What savings are we going to make for our children that are now toddler to begin to put something somewhere for their higher education? That is the planning of marriage. That is what marriage is. Proper planning and proper budgeting. So that when they go to school, you don't have any hassle. Am I communicating? I have 2 grandchildren. And do you know my 2 grandchildren, I have made provision for them, saving money for their university education. I'm not looking at their father. Their father will do so, but I am making provision for my grandchildren. For a righteous man leaveth inheritance for his children. So I am saving some money for them. So by the time they now enter into university and their father is not able, I will take care of my grandchildren. What am I living for? What kind of food do I want to? What kind of thing do I want to wear anymore? No. What is leading me? Budgeting, proper budgeting. It will lead you in managing your finances. You won't have all these problems you are having. If there is proper budgeting. Somebody say, I hear. Another thing that creates problem in home with finances is when there is a joint account. I don't have any problem with joint account. I don't have also problem with separate accounts. But may I tell you the truth? Joint account works well when both of you are receiving salary. It works well. But when you enter into certain level of money, joint account becomes irrelevant. It doesn't work. Why? If you are into business where you have to spend money every day, make checks out and pay in check and receive check and receive money, it becomes difficult to enter into joint account. Because in joint account, you must get the consent of the other person before it is spent. So many people have entered into a joint account and didn't know when to break it off. Then it creates more problem. When there is a joint account, 2 people must agree before the check is signed. It must be signed by both of you, and what the money is meant for must be the concern of both of you. But where there is a joint account and one person is the signatory to the joint account and we are contributing to it, you now take the money and pay your younger brother's school fees, and I didn't know. I hope you know there is going to be problem. Good. That is one of the problems of joint accounts. I don't have any problem with it when it is properly managed. We ran joint account right from when we were in courtship, me and my wife. We were doing joint account until a point came, and I said to her, honey, I think it is time to us to adjust. What is the adjustment? And I said to her, now, this is the budget of this home. And this budget of this home, bring 30%, I will bring 70%. Oh, so that's good. That's good. She was happy. The rest percent of your salary, take care of it. We don't need it. I don't need it anymore. And after 1 or 2 years, I said to her, honey, don't worry. Take your money and do whatever you want to do with your money. I will supply whatever the house needs. At that point, we don't need any joint account. I will pay my children's school fees. We don't have a house. I will pay the rent. Take care of everything. Then in 1994, I said to her, resign. She was a matron in the hospital. I said, resign. I will pay you your salary. You don't need to work anymore. Whatever is your salary, I will pay you your salary. I want you to stay in the house to take care of the children. Whatever you need, I will provide it. At this point, she doesn't need anything. Because one thing I have discovered is this. Every woman wants financial freedom. Every woman. She wants money that she doesn't need to give account of. Because the worst thing a man will do is to let a woman give account of everything. You will create more problem for yourself. And it is poverty that causes. And sometimes it's not poverty, it is foolishness. If you want a woman's rot, give her money to go to the market, and when she comes, they give me, let me have the list. She will show you such anger. It doesn't work. To begin to go through the list, how much do you buy this? Why is she a woman? If you know you needed to know it, shouldn't you have gone to the market? No woman goes to the market without buying something else, minus what she's supposed to buy. That is the truth. She will buy something else. She will buy beyond the budget. So why would you kill yourself? And you see, that's what poverty does. I said to especially pastors, I said to pastors, if you're a pastor and you are earning, you are the general overseer of your ministry, and your wife is working with you in the ministry, doing her bit, even if she doesn't handle microphone, and you, the general overseer, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pastors, you pay them salary. Heaven will slap you 7 times if you fail to pay your wife's salary. You know why? That woman is doing great job in the house. Keeps your home, cook for you, take care of your children, take care of the clothes, so that you will look nice when you come to church, and you will preach well when you come to church, give you peace. So, why would she not be on salary? She has to be. I preach it anywhere. And people think, I said, I preach it because I practice it. Apart from personal money, I said to my wife, I'll pay. I'm not talking of what the ministry pays her. She's the senior pastor of Voice of Freedom. So she's entitled to heavy money. And it comes to her, I don't ask her, what do you do with it? She runs her business. I don't ask her what she does with her business money. My responsibility is to take care of this woman that married me when I was nothing. That's my responsibility. I remember when everybody rejected us and I kept on telling her, I said to her, I will spoil you. She will look at me and look at the man that was talking. I didn't have anything. I said, in this life, I will spoil you. Her parents rejected her because of me. My parents rejected me because of her. And I promised, I said, I will spoil you. And when the time came to spoil her, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not boasting. I spoiled my wife. I do. She doesn't ask me for money. She doesn't. So I don't need to let her ask me for money. I just dash her. Even though I have given her her monthly allowance, the ministry has given her her monthly allowance, and everything in the house is taken care of. From toothpaste to matches, to gas, to firewood, there is nothing. So what does she do with her money? It's not my responsibility. Because she has come to a place where she's a mother. And there are too many daughters and sons. So she pays some school fees for some people. She trains some people. She spends her money. Note this. Your wife has family before marrying you. And if after marrying you, she was taking care of her family in a little way, and after marrying you, they don't see even 1 leon from her, they consider you as a bad husband. So make provision for your wife. Every husband, try to make provision. You say, but pastor, she's working. I don't take her salary. That is what you are doing wrong. I said to husband, know how much. I've met men that are strange. I ask them, how much does your wife earn? Say, I don't know, I don't care. You are not well. You need a psychiatric treatment. Why would you not know how much your wife is earning? Why would you not care? I'm not saying take it, but at least know. So that you know what you can give to her to add to whatever she has. It is an error that both of you come to church. When it is offering, your wife pinch you. Then you put your hand in your pocket, look for some miserable, and give to her to go and give offering. Why? She has nothing to give offering. She has no money of her own. Whenever she wants to do her hair, she will come to you. She wants to change slippers, she will come to you. It is an error. Can I have somebody shout, error? It creates problem in the home. It creates serious trouble in the home. You think it doesn't matter. One day your wife will tell you how it matters. And you begin to wonder, what is making you to behave like this? Am I not providing for you? She will tell you you are not providing anything. She said, okay, what do you want me to do? I should kill myself. You say, yes, kill yourself. You say, this woman is a witch. She's not a witch. It's just that you have failed to do what you're supposed to do. Can I hear somebody say, I hear? Let me take the next one. The in-laws, brother-in-laws, father-in-laws, mother-in-laws, and sister-in-laws, which we mentioned. Third party. You know the bond between children and their mother their parents is a very strong bond. But I need to say to us, when your children are married, allow them to develop their own home. Stop interfering. And those who are married, stop bothering your parents with your marital problem. You made a choice to marry. Were you not told that marriage is full of responsibility? You see, we are so much compassionate. We are so much loaded with emotion that we lack wisdom. You got married. Then the next thing that comes into your mind is to take your junior sister to come and stay with you. And your junior sister is 21 years. And you are 24. Then she come and stay with you. Your husband is a young man. And it comes on, your junior sister wears short. Begin to move. And because it's your junior sister, she comes into your bedroom, make up your bed. One day, your junior sister will begin to vomit in the house. Your husband has pregnanted her. You say, my husband is born again, filled with the Holy Ghost. He is not an angel. It's a human being. If Hagar was not in the house, Abraham wouldn't climb Hagar. Is that correct? Because Hagar was in the house. Be careful who you bring into your house. Go and bring one, bring this one and bring that one. All of them stay in the house. And this is a home. My counsel has been for the people who are married, live with your wife and form a solid foundation without a second party, without a second person, without a third party. Form a solid home for yourself. Am I communicating? Join your wife to cook. Join her to clean the house. Now, in our culture, listen to this. I'm not telling you what I've not practiced. I refused. In our culture, when you give birth to your son or your first child, your mother will come and your wife's mother will come. They call it omugo, something like that. There's something to take care of. Then you will take care of them when they are going. I agree with my wife. I said, nobody is coming. Why? I don't know the originator of that culture. Because when they are going, you will buy certain fish, a particular fish. I said, why not buy another fish? They said, no, our culture says. I said, okay, if that is the reason, I'm not going to enter this culture. So, Mama, you are not coming. And my wife's mother, you are not coming. How are you going to survive? I'm there for my wife. So I will pound the yam. I will cook the soup. I will go to the market. It didn't change me from being a pastor. At all. It didn't. I will mop the floor. I will help my wife to wash the napkin. And my wife then was working in the hospital as a nurse. So I take care of the baby when she goes on night. So I stay awake. I was taught how to prepare the milk and give the baby. And that's how when we succeeded in the first child, second one, nobody was coming. I did it. The third one, I did it. The fourth one, I did it. And I saved myself of all the trouble. They considered me as a man that is weird. Explain to me why. They didn't explain. So you can come. And do you know what it helped me? It helped me to build bond between me and my wife and my children. It didn't change anything. Cleaning the floor would not stop you from being a man. It won't. I happen to be a very good cook. So I cook anything. If I don't know, I go and learn how to cook. So cooking doesn't change me from being a man or from being a bishop. Why? I chose to marry the woman I love. So two of us love each other. So we decided to work it out by ourselves before we bring what will kill our marriage. Many of us brought what killed our marriage by ourselves. Bishop, does it mean you will not help your people? No, that's not far from it. When my wife insisted and brought our last born created serious problem. Our last born will go and talk. She will call my mother, tell my mother what is going on. Until one day I came back from house, my mother visited. And when my mother visited, I came back from house, my mother was sitting on the staircase. I came, I greeted Mama. He said, I stopped. I said, are you okay? He said, What is the problem? He said, go and ask your wife. I went inside the house. I saw my wife. My wife was shaking her leg. I said, honey, is everything is okay? He said, yes. I said, why is Mama sitting outside? He said, go and ask the mother. I weigh food. He said, ask your sister to give you food. When has this started? And I knew there was trouble. By the time I went into it My junior sister, the last born, talked to my wife. My wife reacted to my mother. My mother reacted. There was so much confusion in the home for about 1 week. At the end of it, and I said, okay, my sister, you are going. I went to look for a place. The Young Women Association, they had a hostel. I hired a hostel for my sister. Leave my house. I was living in a 5-bedroom flat, 5-bedroom duplex. So she had her room. Go and live there. I will pay. You can only visit when we want you to visit. Mama, you will go home. He said, so you're sending me home because of your wife. I said, of course, this is our home. You and your husband have lived together, and you gave back to us. So go your home. Go and meet your husband. So my mother was angry. And I said, Mama, you know what? As long as this marriage exists, you cannot come to my house except I permit you to come. When you want to come, you will let me know you are coming. I will let you know whether it was convenient for you to come at that time or not. My mother considered it this is abomination. My son's house. I said, no. It's your son's house, not your house. You have your house. So she went home and they told all the people they were angry. People were so angry with me. I refused to go home for a few years. I said, now when you see me, you will talk. But do you know what that thing did? It established such respect for my mother and for my wife. And when my mother finally visited after some years, you visit, you stay for 1 week, maximum 2 weeks, you go. When the excitement is at the height, I arrange for vehicle to take you home. So you go with that excitement before you begin to find fault. I have to save my home. It's not my mother's home. It's not my junior sister's home. So I treat my junior brothers and junior sisters. I pay their school fees. I take care of them. Some of them are living in the same city with me. I make sure I feed them, give them money to eat, and I send them to university, but you're not living in my house. I don't want trouble. And somebody will consider that I'm stupid. No, I am not. I live in an 11-bedroom house, palace, and I don't want any person that is related to me or related to my wife. We pay their school fees. We give them money to enjoy themselves. We pay their rent. But this house is a family house. Am I communicating? If you don't take certain decision for your life, then they will take decision for you. And you will be the one to suffer. Somebody say, I hear. So please, when it has to do with parents, in-laws, if you happen, your daughter is married, when you visit, stay for a while and disappear. Somebody say, I hear. Stay for a while and do what? And go back home. Go back home. That you are the mother does not qualify you go to her kitchen and begin to look at what is there. That you are the mother of your son does not qualify to say to your daughter-in-law, eh? So you use one chicken to cook one. So you are the one finishing my son. You fail to know that she is a contributor to whatever is in the house. When she's eating, you want to see what she's eating. So you alone, you fry 5 eggs for this house. People are spoiling money. You people are wasting money. Did they send for you to come and tell them how to live? This is how they have been living. It's their money. It's not yours. So what's your problem? Please, parents, let us give them opportunity to build. Sex. And we're going to round up. Get the book, and you will see the rest. Somebody say amen. Say after me, the greatest need of a husband is sex. Sex is food in marriage. It's the food for a man. Say after me, the greatest need of a wife is affection, not sex. Affection. That's the greatest need of a woman. What do I mean? Affection is encompassing. Sweet words. Pampering. Telling her how beautiful she is. Admiring what she's wearing. Even if you don't like it, say it. That it is good. You say, am I not lying? No, you're not lying. You say it is good and it is good. Whatever Adam calls it, that is what it is. If you feel it is not good, go and change it. Tell your wife sweet words. That is what a woman likes. Women are moved by words. By words. Stop shouting at her. What could I have done without you? Taking care of the children, running around. I just wonder how you cope every day that I'm not around. It makes blow the woman's head. Tell her sweet nonsense. She will accept it. If the serpent didn't talk gently with the woman, she wouldn't have gotten the woman's attention. She talked gently with the woman. Be gentle with your wife. The greatest thing a woman needs is not even necessarily material things. It's affection. There is a way you present her. There's a way you talk to her. There is a way you pamper her. Whatever you bring is accepted. But for the man, his greatest need is sex. Men are not moved by words. They are moved by action and what they see. Somebody say, I hear. Sexual relationship is a common food in marriage. But if a partner is denied of this common food, conflict will arise. Many couples quarrel and fight because of denial or unsatisfied sexual life. Sexual life in marriage grows. As you are growing in marriage, it grows. I recommend a book, Model Marriage, by Howard Mills. I will recommend it to every married person and those going into marriage. That book exposes you to all kinds of sex, all manner of positions in sex. What kills sex in marriage is when there is no variety. It kills sex in marriage and makes men to explore outside. Therefore, if you know a better way, teach your man. Men are not too good at sex until they are taught and know. The reason is this. When the thing comes upon the man, he just wants to get into it. And before you know it, he has gotten into it. Under 3 minutes, he has ejaculated. And he is finished. Meanwhile, the woman is yet to even arrange herself. Because the woman takes time to come up. And man comes up by seeing. Just looking at you, he is already ready. Many women are not sexually satisfied. I've talked with many women. When you talk to them about orgasm, they say, what is orgasm? They don't even know what it is. They don't even know how to climax because the man came too quickly. And if that woman happened to have had good sex before, now marry this man, 2 minutes man, she will be frustrated in life. You can buy her anything, she's still frustrated. She wishes she can. Why? The man doesn't know. Now, my counsel is this. You that know how it goes, teach your man. Forget about whether she will say, oh, you were wayward before I got married to you. No, it is our marriage. This is how it goes. Can I hear somebody say amen? I know that you don't hear this from the pulpit. So I'm not on the pulpit, I'm here. Is anybody listening to me? Different position in sex creates hunger for sex. If it is the missionary type, by the time your husband just come, climb on you, two of you just jerk, the thing is over, he climbs out, friend, after some time, he will be tired. Is it not the same thing? Many homes are suffering, and many women are suffering in silence because they can't. I remember a young lady came to me and said to me, I want to run away. Why are you running away? Is your husband beating you? No. Is he not providing enough? He says he is. What is it? He said, this man, as soon as he enters, before you know it, he has ejaculated. He said, I'm tired. I said, okay. Let me send for your husband and talk to your husband. He said, no, I just want to run away. I said, okay, don't run away. You know what? Let me teach you what to do. Can you do it? She said, yes. I said, okay. Now, sex is practiced. And you practice sex to a point where you become a champion. So, I said, I have practiced this thing for 30-something years. I am now a champion. So, I know how to control. She said, okay, how? I said, now, talk to your husband. Don't be angry. You know one of the things you women do? You just get angry. You say, so all this one where you do now, so you don't finish just now. You just finish. You just finish. You just get up, go to the bathroom and wash yourself. You kill the man. You just kill him. And many women do it. And she said, that is what I do. Because I need to let him know that he doesn't perform. I said, all right. What you are doing is that you are killing him, that he wouldn't even, very soon he wouldn't have desire for it. What do? I say, allow him. When he has just done the 2 minutes business, just tell him, say, sweetheart, this night is our night. Say, this one is what is called appetizer. This night, I will give you the main meal. He said, really? I said, yes. I said, just give him like 30 minutes and now cuddle him and begin to play with him. He will come up. He said, really? I said, when he comes up, he will be on you for the next 20 minutes. He said, Daddy, you are joking. I said, try it. And she went home and tried it. The next day, I got a telephone call. He said, Daddy, this thing works. And do you know what happened? Another 1 week. He said, Daddy. I said, what? He said, Daddy. I said, what? He said, the man don't want me to rest, so. Because the man has never had sex up to 20 minutes before. He now had sex for 20 minutes and see what love making. Sex is different from love making. Those 2 minutes thing is called sex. Love making is when two people are involved and the woman come and come again and come to a point of no return. See you in our eyes. Can you see all of you? All of you. I don't catch you. Do you know that is how I rescued the marriage? Today the marriage is so strong. Because there is a way out. And the man, you can hardly see men discuss it. Only women discuss, I am not satisfied. But they discuss it in such a tune that they don't know. Nobody seems to give a solution. Say, no, condition your mind that you're satisfied. No, don't condition your mind that you're satisfied. Discuss it. Can I hear somebody say amen? The woman you abuse in the morning will not make love to you in the night. She will give you sex. You want it, she just lie down, open her leg, enter. She lie like a wood. When you finish, you get up. She go and wash herself, come back, lie down, face the other side. That is not love making. That is called sex. In marriage, that is where you have love making. Why is she so? You have wounded her in the morning and you want sex in the night. The man you talk to and say, are you a man? Don't expect to have anything with him. You see, main case is very serious. Because until a man's brain is conditioned to have sex, he cannot have erection. When you kill him in the brain, you have killed his manhood. He will be looking at you. If you like, open the leg to 360-degree wide. You'll be looking at it. It will not move him because his brain is not coordinating. She remembers hurtful things you have said to him. Am I communicating? Uncleanness will kill sex. Dirty wigs, artificial hair that is smelling, kills the man. As he lie down, as he want to come close, Uzziah. As he perceived the odor, he just shrink. No woman is permitted to go to bed without taking a bath. Does not matter when you must bath. The same thing with a man. You don't come home smelling with all sweat. Dirty armpit can kill sex. Especially men who don't shave. And your armpit gathers all kinds of dirt. When you open it, it's like the whole place is smelling. Am I communicating? How much deodorant costs? Very small. Every woman should use deodorant. Rub it on your armpit. Are you aware that just coming to church and clapping, you are sweating and you smell? It produces odor. You may not perceive it. Someone behind you is perceiving it. But when you put antiperspirant on your armpit, it saves you a whole lot. You smell good. Male and female. Am I communicating? Dirty underwear kills sex. Some women don't wash their underwear. Men wash. Men, what? Wash. You don't wash. Just wear it. What you don't understand is that it creates an odor. When they pull where you put your underwear, what kind of odor comes from there? Because you couldn't wash it, you take another one. Then you can't wash it, you take another one. I talked about the brazier yesterday or day before yesterday. It kills sexual desire. And it is one material we use that we don't often wash. Because you don't see how dirty it is. You fail to know that it sweats. You sweat with it. And that sweat creates odor. Because you always wear it inside, you don't feel that it is dirty. A dirty bedroom will deny you sex. The way it was left in the morning, your husband come back in the night is the same thing. Men are moved by what they see. How can you wear short knicker and go to bed? Then the man wants to play janglover. He has to remove belt. Then unbutton you. Abba. Something is wrong with you. Then you wear tight. to sleep with your husband. What's your problem? Husband, go and look for strange, powerful night gown and give to your wife. You want to enjoy yourself? Wear your nightgown. Men are easily attracted. He doesn't need to ask. All he just needs to do is to go and take your bath. They just take towel here. Just walk past through where he's sitting 3 times. He will forget television. Or just meet him where he is. Say, honey, look at this thing that is at my back. While he's trying to look at you, you lose the towel. He will change his mind. Or just go to bed and lie down. Without anything, just spread your leg. As soon as he comes, he will stand. As he stands, he will lose his concentration. Before you know it, he is there. He is attracted by what he sees. Somebody say, I hear. Let me quickly run to this, please. Get the book. Note this. When there are unresolved issues, look at what will happen. Number 1, unresolved issues, unresolved conflicts is the foundation on which unforgiveness, bitterness, worry, mistrust, and anxiety are built. Unresolved conflicts gives reason, is responsible for the death of communication in marriage, death of companionship, death of affection. It will kill your sexual life, kill joy and peace in your home. It will kill love. It will destroy family progress. Unresolved issue will destroy your spiritual life, will destroy motivation in your marriage, and destroy your romantic life. It will destroy family harmony and destroy friendship among both of you. Unresolved conflicts will destroy marriage fulfillment, destroy emotional feeling. Finally, it will kill your marriage. Therefore, make effort to resolve conflicts. Steps in taking, you must take to resolve conflicts. Pray and ask God for wisdom on how and time to approach the issue on ground. Be positive that there will be solution. Every conflict is pointing to the fact that both of you are different persons who reason and read meaning to matters differently. It will take compromise. It will take compromise and sacrifice for 2 different individuals to live together. Be ready to compromise and let go. Remember how much you loved him, you loved her. Hence, you must opt. Once you opted to marry her, you loved her, you loved him. There were other men, but you chose to marry him. Remember that when you want to resolve conflicts. Remember one good word he has spoken to you, one good act of encouragement, one sexual experience of your partner in the past. Remember that this was not how you started the marriage journey. This present conflict is not how you began. So something interfered along the line. When you remember this, you will remember, you will now think on how to bring your marriage to what is supposed to be. Remember, this is just a passing phase of your marriage, and it will pass away. It's not going to last forever. Don't take a permanent decision on this temporary issue. Be prepared to discuss frankly the issue on ground without provocative and insulting words. Be ready to forgive. Be ready to accept your fault and apologize. Somebody say amen. Be ready to accept In every conflict, both of you are guilty. Both partners are guilty. One person's guilt might be 70%, the other one is 30%. Whether it's 30%, 10%, or 100%, you are guilty. Apologize for the 10%. Let the other one apologize. I see one word. A young man came to the father. He said, Dad, I want to get married. I'm matured to marry. The father said, all right. Can you say, I am sorry? Say, I am sorry. The son said, Dad, what did I do to say I'm sorry? The father said, I want you to say to me, I am sorry. He said, should I say sorry because I said I want to get married? The father said, no. Just say, I am sorry. The son said, Dad, I don't get it. Why would I say I am sorry? Have I offended? Did I offend? If I offend you, tell me. I will apologize. The dad said, say, I am sorry. This argument went on. The boy said, all right, Dad, I am sorry. The father said, yes, you are ready to marry. He said, why? He said, marriage is the place where you say, I am sorry, whether you are guilty or not. Whether you know what you did wrong or you didn't do wrong. You will say, I am what? Sorry. Then he told him of a story of a man and a wife. He was in the office, the wife just came. The wife's face was smoking. And the husband said, anything the matter? He said, no. Of course, women, you know how you behave. When they ask you, is there anything wrong? You say, no. Are you okay? Yes. And your face is still smoking. And the husband said to her, sweetheart, did anybody offend you? You said, no. Did I offend you? You said, no. Did I tell you that that anybody offended me? Did I tell you anything? The man said, okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. So the man, after waiting, the wife is just moody. He took his key and he was walking away. As he approaches the door, so the wife said, you don't care. You are leaving me like this. The man turned and said, I've been asking you since you came in, what is wrong with you? You said nothing is wrong. Do you want me to kill myself? The man walked away to the car. As he wants to kick the car, he remembered the story. Marriage is a place where you say, I am sorry. Whether you understand the offense or you don't understand the offense. He got back to the office. He just looked at the wife. He said, sweetheart, I am sorry. The wife just fell on him and started crying. What is she crying for? What happened? He solved the problem by saying, I am sorry. Do you know a lot of the thing that is prolonged is because nobody wants to apologize? And somebody is saying, I've been the one that is always apologizing. I'm the one that is always that. This one, I will not apologize. All right, who will suffer? Let's see who suffers. Men find it difficult to say, I'm sorry. They are hardcore. They are concrete. When they cake, they don't move. But I say to men, say, I'm sorry. I am sorry. 3 words that can do magic. There is hardly any woman that you say, I'm sorry, that will not accept. I started quarreling by 10 o'clock in the night with my wife till 5 o'clock in the morning. She was pregnant. Allow her to talk. You know, men don't talk always. Don't talk. They will talk. Then I will just release one bomb. After she's about to cool down, I released another one. The thing went on until about 5 o'clock in the morning. I just look at her. I said, look at your face. You're so beautiful. I'm sorry now. Baby, I'm sorry. Of course, we ended up having a powerful sex that morning. From 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. So you're not looking at an angel. I'm not. Is anybody listening to me? Good. So be ready to forgive. Don't kill yourself. Because this thing you are harboring now will kill you later when you get to a certain age of life. What is creating a lot of high blood pressure in many Christian women and many Christian men is harbored grudge, pains. That's why I said to couple, when you are quarreling, be careful what you say. It is better to be quiet than to regret what you have said. You know why? What you have spoken out of your mouth, you can't withdraw it. It has been spoken. Even though you apologize, the mind keeps it. So why would you say it? Why would you look at your wife and say you're a prostitute? That word will never leave her until she dies. So why would you say such a thing? Why would you look at your husband and say she's an adulterer? Ooh! And the man knows that he has never done it. It hurts him. Don't say what you will regret at the end of the day. Forgiveness is allowed. But do you know what does not take place? Forgetfulness. For the heart has a way of keeping it. And that is why resolving conflicts is always difficult. Because the past will begin to resurrect. Are we making progress? I'm going to stop very soon. How do I resolve conflict? Number one, consider the following. What led to the conflict? That is how to resolve. What led to this thing we are having now? Who caused it? Me? Do you know that a lot of conflict in the home is caused by a third party? See, my mother's marriage, the reason why I started teaching marriage right from 1979 till now. I was not married when I started teaching on marriage because I learned a lot when I was a child. My parents' marriage was broken because of my mother's friends. My mother's friends would go out. My father was a playboy. So whoever they see my father with is my father's girlfriend. Then they will come home to tell my mother. My mother will wait for my father. My mother was a very lanky woman. My father wasn't taller than me. My mother was tall and huge. So as soon as Papa returned, fight would start. Do you know it continued like that on almost every week they are fighting? Until one day, they fought. My father's bicycle, I watched this when it happened. My father's bicycle was here. When my mother threw him and he fell, then he hit his head. You know the bicycle stand, it used to be sharp. My father hit his head on that bicycle stand and it cut his head. And in my place, a woman must not bring out the husband's blood. If he does, that's the end of the marriage. And my father's blood began to flow. When the king's men came and saw the blood, that was the end. And when my mother saw the blood, she knew the marriage has ended. And that has the marriage ended. And before my mother died, I remember talking with my mother and I said to my mother, can you see all your friends who were lying to you and bringing evil news to you? They are all in their homes. But you have made us to suffer because you chose to listen to them. That we were 4, 2 died because you were not there. You were not there. So I learned so much. Then when I got married, don't talk to me about my wife. Don't. I won't allow you to open your mouth. Whatever you saw, don't. And my wife will not allow you to talk to her about me. She will fight you. And if every couple adopt this, don't entertain anybody that come to tell you anything about your husband. That person is devil number 1. If you are looking for which to kill, kill that one. whether it's your brother or your sister, your uncle, whoever it is. Don't accept anybody to talk to you about your husband. Don't accept anybody to talk to you about your wife. What started this quarrel in your home? Is it money? Is it sex? Is it third party? Is it mismanagement? Is it the children? What is it? Find out what it is before you think about resolving the issue. Number 2, how did you contribute to this quarrel? What part did you play in resolving this matter? What part did you play? What is the percentage of your own offense? What step will I take to heal the wounds I have created and restore fellowship? Think on that. Do I need a third party to assist us? To assist me? Whenever you resolve a conflict, learn a lesson. The positive and the negative lesson from what has happened. Avoid the following in resolving conflict. Don't blame anybody for the challenge you are facing in your marriage. You are going through it because you chose to marry your partner. Number 2, you chose to be offended. Do you know you can choose not to be offended? Sure. You can choose not to be offended. If you can choose to forgive, you can choose not to be offended. You can just decide, this will not affect me. I still love you. I'm not going to be offended by what you have done. It's a choice. Anger is a choice. You can choose to be angry and choose not to be angry. You can choose to overlook an issue and continue your life. What benefit will it be? You can choose. When you are trying to resolve issues, do not shout or talk in anger. Calm down. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Proverbs 15:1. Do not use tears to intimidate your partner. A lot of women do it. That will not resolve the issue. No, clean your tears. Let us talk the matter. Clean your tears. Let us face the truth. Then when you start crying, the husband will say, okay, that's okay. That's okay. Stop crying. Stop crying, though. Stop crying. Friend, you have not resolved this issue. You have put it under the carpet. One day you will lift up the carpet. You will meet it. Face it. Face it. Sir, stop being angry. Stop shouting. Calm down. And talk with your wife. Look at the issues closely and resolve it. Somebody say, here. Apologize when necessary. Don't hold it. Don't refer to old issues. This is one thing that creates more problem. Women are very good. Men are also. In fact, women are best. Men are good. The woman will not say, when we got married, 15 days after we got married, this is what you did. That day that Mama Thomas came, that was when the president was, the day they swore the president in. It was 11 o'clock in the night. This is what you said. These issues you are mentioning have been resolved. So why are you bringing the past into the present? Let the past remain in the past. Even though what is happening look like it, forget about the past. You can't resolve issue referring to the past. Face the present conflict. Leave the past alone. Can I hear somebody say amen? Do not pack out of your home. Don't pack out of your bedroom because you're having conflict. That creates more conflict. Don't pack your guest room. Don't be a guest in your house. You are not a guest. Remain in the bedroom. Sir, don't go and sleep in the sitting room and leave your wife in the bedroom. Remain in this bedroom. Solve it. That's what you chose. Can I hear somebody say amen? Woman, don't run to your parents' house. They have given you out. There is no room in your father's house. Don't run to a friend, except your life is at stake. Call your pastor. Do what? Call your pastor, not a friend. Do not starve your wife of housekeeping allowance because you are quarreling. Don't. Maintain your side of the responsibility. Do not take the key of the car that you bought for her. I hear men just give me my key. Don't buy a car for your wife and put your name. Write her name on the car if you bought it for her. If the car is what you were using before and you are not giving it to your wife, if it's carrying your name, do a change of ownership. It is her car. It is what? Her car. You say you gave it to her. Not the one tomorrow, nearly to say, give me the key. Give me. You took the car key. Then later when you reconcile, you throw the key to her. No, it's her car. So that when you said, give me the key, she will tell you it is my car, it's not your car. You say, I bought it. You say, yes, if you bought it in court, that is my car. It carries my name. Am I communicating? Do not refuse to eat your wife's food because you are quarreling. My wife is a strange woman. If I refuse the food, you know what she will do? She say, you refuse food, you are the one that brought the money for the food. So if you like, you eat. You don't eat, it's your money. I will get angry. I will just think, it's true, it's my food, it's my money. So I will go and eat the food. Oh, that woman just dealt with me. Don't bring anybody to bear false witness. Don't bring anybody to bear witness against your wife or against your husband. And say, I'm going to call Brother John. Because Brother John knew this thing. And Brother John will not stand in the presence of other people to testify against your husband that you are going to go home with at the end of the settlement. You are doing something wrong. Somebody say, I hear. Stop saying words like this if you want to resolve issue. You are a liar. Don't say it. You lie. You lie. You are a liar. That matter will never be resolved. So your husband say, hey, I'm a liar. Or your wife says, so you called me a liar. That matter will never be resolved. Stop saying you always doing it. Always. You use the word. You are creating more problem when you are trying to resolve issue. If in the case of resolving the issue, the tension begin to mount, stop. Can I hear somebody say stop? Stop and leave the matter until further notice. You will reconvene to discuss it. Keep your focus on resolving the issue. Give yourself to prayer and fasting. Like I said, always say, I am what? I am sorry. I'm going to stop here, and if there is any question, I may take one or two, but take note of this. I want to tell you today. Bring out your phone. Bring out your phone. Bring out your phone from your bag. Bring out your phone from your bag. Bring it out. Bring it out. Good. Bring out your phone from your bag. Sir, can I have your phone? Who owns this phone? It is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, phone is a personal property. There are laws guiding phone. Africans, we just see phone, so we're ready to talk and to call. When you are sitting, I'm sitting with my pastor here, and my phone rings. It is wrong. It is wrong for me to take the phone and begin to talk in his presence. The law 8, I will say to him, excuse me, we are discussing. He said, excuse me. Then I will go somewhere and do what? And answer my call. Do you know what I have just done has created problem in many homes? He said, why is it that whenever there is a call, he will go out? Sometimes he will enter toilet to answer the call. It's a private discussion. Why would you put your ear to what I am talking about? Does it concern you? It's my property. Please let us understand it. Your wife took excuse to go and answer her call. Then as soon as you come, say, who called you? What are you discussing? Who is that person? Why are you so insecure? What is your problem? Then, when your husband just returned, drop his phone, and just go to bath, you quickly come to the phone. Whatever you look for, you will find. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't call for it. It doesn't call for it. Your husband's phone belongs to your husband. In my house, while all the children were there, nobody answers anybody's call. My wife is not allowed to answer my call. I don't answer her call. She doesn't answer the children's call. The children don't answer her call. They don't answer my call. I have 3 telephone lines, and they ring constantly from different parts of the world. And some of them send messages. I remember when telephone came out one newly, and I was answering somebody, and the person finally, he said, I love you, and I said, I love you too. My wife said, what is that? I said, he said, I love you, Dad. I said, I love you too. I think it was my son who said, Dad, I love you. She didn't know who was calling. I said, okay, this is the person that is calling. Our son said, Dad, I love you. And I replied, I love you. So what is your problem? I say, from today, never you. She said, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I said, when somebody said to you, I love you, what you normally reply is, I love you too. Is it a crime to love somebody? But do you know it has created so much problem? Now, to us who are pastors, we receive all kinds of text messages. Real and the ones that are not real. I love you so much with all my heart. I hear. Now, if you, a wife, want to go now look for, and you see, I love you so much, you will begin to cry for what is not in existence. The person is just express his or her love. Is it not my responsibility to respond or not to respond? Hello? Do you know if I want to create problem in your home, I will send all kinds of text message to your husband. And I will claim to be a woman. Then you begin to fight what is not in existence. And your husband begin to wonder, why are you fighting? What did I do wrong? One day, one of my deaconesses came, and she was crying. I said, what is it? He said, look at. I said, what is it? She was showing me condom. I said, okay. What is wrong with condom? She said, I found it in my husband's briefcase. I said, okay. What were you looking for in the briefcase? He said, yes, because my spirit has been telling me that he's doing something somewhere. So when he went to bath, and I opened the briefcase and I saw it. I said, praise God. I said that. What are you saying? I said, praise God. Praise God that that man remembered to use condom. He said, is that what you want to say? I said, you went to look for something and you found it. So what do you do with what you have found? Because whatever you are looking for, you will do what? You will find. That's what you are looking for. You have found it. What are you going to do now? You should kneel down and give God praise that the man is not doing it without condom. After all, the man is not born again. He's an unbeliever. So he's doing it and protecting himself and protecting you. You should thank God. Stop looking for what will kill you. Can I hear somebody say amen? Start searching your wife's phone to know who called. Say, honey, come here. Who is Peter? The wife said, Peter. Peter. I say, who is Peter? Peter called you 5 times yesterday. What are you doing with Peter? Who is Peter? He said, Peter is my senior sister's son. And now, your husband called Peter. Your husband only knew his vernacular name, didn't know his English name is Peter. Meanwhile, he's boiling. For what? Why would you go and search your wife's phone? We can avoid it. Before you ask a question, just bow your head. I pray for you this hour that every word you have heard will help you to resolve the issue in your marriage in the name of Jesus. This conflict in your home, I crush it this afternoon. I destroy the foundation. I destroy the source. I release grace upon you. Grace to resolve the issue. Grace to handle your financial life. Grace to handle your sexual life. Grace to handle the issue in your home. Receive grace in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Father. I speak peace into your marriage. I can't hear you. I said, speak peace into your marriage. To you that is not married, I release your husband, I release your wife to you. And the things you have had today will help you when you finally get married. Any home where there is confusion on this altar, I cancel the confusion. I introduce peace into your home. In the mighty name of Jesus. Can I hear somebody shout aloud, amen? Come on, give the Lord a very big clap offering. Do you think anybody has a question? Okay, what's your question? You are married? Yes.
I have my son and my wife in university. Neither know how he entered and how the wife entered to university. They did not want to calm down and apologize. Still tempered. And when he have small confusion, what he's supposed to do for the children, he just cut it or make on and off. How this will the woman accept him again when he comes down, because he even calm down to say apologize and not be together, still tempering and abandon the children, not taking care of them? Are you going to accept him again or not, sir?
Okay. This is a complex issue that need to be talked with. Nobody walks out of marriage without a cause. The cause may be present or may be remote. Some spiritual forces may be responsible for the man to walk away. You walk away and you abandon your children. You didn't know how they get. And finally, the children are in the school. You now heard your children are matriculating. You now want to come and take picture from them. Your son even rejected you and said, no, we don't need you. I don't need you in my life again. Well, it's issue that need proper counseling. The man has misbehaved, but if this is the way he wants to come back, we need to discuss the matter and be able to find out how to resolve this issue. Will the man be accepted back into your life? It's a matter of choice. Don't forget, I told you yesterday, marriage is what? A choice. Let's make welcome, Bishop. If there is any other question, you can ask when Bishop takes over.
Keep on clapping, keep on clapping. How many of us are blessed? Wow. So we are all blessed. This is very interesting. Well, if you want to continue to learn more about marriage in home, we have few copies of the books left, about 30.